The video for January 27th, 2017 is entitled, One Universal Standard. If mankind has learned anything at all in our very checkered history, we have learned how to lie. We have been lied to our entire lives, following the horrific example of those who have claimed to be our leaders. I don't claim to comprehend how this occurred. It goes back a very long time, a very long way. Throughout that extensive history, there have been those who tried to tell us of a better way. They gave us a universal standard, which of course is love. Love one another. Of course, we cannot do that as long as we are captive to lies. Falsehoods abound. They permeate every societal structure and belief, with a lie in the middle, system. Until we are willing to listen to those with different experiences and viewpoints, we are incapable of loving. We will never find the common ground. We will continue to fall short of the one universal standard. What's it going to take for us to wake up? Indeed, I wrote that blurb, but it was still quite dark out, in the very early hours of the morning, past 4 a.m., between 4 and 6 a.m., sometime in there. I don't remember the exact time. But in any case, this has been a subject that continues to weigh heavily on my heart, because as I try to build bridges to other people, I find often an unwillingness to delve into areas that contradict what we've been taught. We want to believe that whatever our current belief system is, that it's right. And as long as we believe something is right, we stop searching for anything else. We stop allowing ourselves to be open and to consider other points of view. But we fail to realize that those who want to control us try to keep us from expanding our minds, from expanding our experience, from learning new things. They like to keep us in a very limited box where they can easily control us and keep us subservient to their authority. This is true regardless of what strata you're dealing with, whether it's a religious strata, whether it's a political strata, whether it's a business strata, whatever the main strata is, it's still about control and subservience. It's not about truth. It's not about love. It's not about openness. Now, after I wrote the blurb, I got an email, actually, I opened an email that was sent to me last night before I went to bed by a very good friend who was once again encouraging me to explore the flat earth theory. And this is something that I've looked at in the past, and it's something I spent some time looking at again today. And there are definitely problems with the round earth thing, and they are very wisely and intellectually pointed out that some things just don't make sense based on a flat earth and based on the model of the cosmos and the solar system, et cetera, that we've been taught in our schools and in our modern culture, or which actually isn't very modern. It goes back centuries and even millennia, perhaps. But in any case, I still went back and I looked again at the testimony of that young man from Norway who, with his dad, sailed through the middle of the earth and sailed out around down toward Antarctica or toward the South Pole, and they were shipwrecked, and he was put in an insane asylum. They thought he was crazy, but then he ended up settling in the United States, and he told a story even as an old man that's what happened. He sailed through Agartha, and he told the story of being in Agartha, where they have a sun in the middle of the earth. Now, I can't picture that being on a flat earth that he's talking about. And yet some of the things that the flat earth people put forth are they give me pause to make me wonder, because they're pointing out certain things that don't make sense from what we've been explained by our leaders of many centuries and possibly millennia. In any case, I still say what I've been saying for a long time. We're not going to be liberated within the current system. I don't care if it's Donald Trump running it or somebody else. If it's the current system is built on lies. We know that if we're even a little bit awake, we realize that we've been lied to. And even when I try to build bridges within spiritual communities, as soon as I come up against something that is slightly a slight variance or even a major variance of what they want to believe is true, they automatically put up walls and the communication stops. And I've watched this happen time and time again. People do not want to consider other points of view. And it's not about arguing. It's about being able to rationally discuss differences, because that's the only way we're going to learn. The only way we're going to expand our consciousness is by opening up to other possibilities, not stuck in the same possibilities, which creates a probability that we'll never grow up. We'll never get out of the box. That's the probability if we stay attached to our current viewpoints. Inevitable. So I want, again, to encourage everyone who listens to this to be willing, at least be willing, to meet on a level playing field with those who have a different point of view and discuss the points of view. Don't argue them. Discuss them. And always with the idea of what if what I believe is based on something that someone gave to me, which someone maybe gave to them, but it's a lie. It's not true. What if I'm wrong? Now, I know that's hard for some people to embrace, but I have to accept the fact that many of the things that I've been taught in my life did not turn out to be what I thought they were going to be. And I've been wrong. And I have to admit that to myself. I have to look in the mirror and say, what can I do to start loving? And the first thing that I can do to start loving is to start listening to what others say. Of course, the problem is others aren't coming to me to try to get me to discuss something. It's usually me going to them, trying to get them to open up and discuss a different viewpoint. And I find resistance again and again. So what's it going to take? What's it going to take, folks, to get us to get us to the place where I guess we have to be uncomfortable enough to consider something else, anything else. We have to get uncomfortable. Are we uncomfortable enough yet? Obviously not, because some people are still holding on and holding on and holding on, which is why I asked the question, what's it going to take to wake us up? Are we going to have to face a greater tribulation and a more worldwide tribulation that affects even those in more settled places on earth like the United States? I don't know. What's your answer, folks? What do you think? How do you see it? I know I personally want my life to be based on truth and love, and they coexist together. Love cannot exist without truth, and vice versa. They work in tandem with each other. That's how I see it. Thank you for listening, and namaste.